Hello everyone, this is Antonio from RandomStuff, and in this video I'm just moving the record button there. It's a video that I wanted to make on the next best thing that I can do on a non-rooted device, and that is how to restore it when I feel that it's time to reset it, especially when things don't go as smooth as what they should be going, and the behavior of the battery is not great. As I've mentioned before in other videos, the battery is something that I'm not too pleased with on this device. But anyway, the way I do it is basically using LG's own method. So that is, you go to where is it? Backup and reset. And there's various things that you can configure here, including the factory reset, data reset, which I will do at the end. And that is basically to go into LG backup. And you know, you've got some options to send data, receive data. You can look into that if you need to, but the options that I'm interested in, and the only ones that I use, are the ones that you see down here: save and restore data, save and restore. So if I click on save and restore, backup this device's data to the internal storage of your or your SD card. You can also restore data from a backup. Now, before I do backup, if I just do restore from backup, you can see there's a couple of backups that I made where I felt that the phone was quite well behaved, and I thought, okay, this is how I want to you know, save everything. I can't use my beloved titanium backup, which I love, but on my next device, hopefully, if I can root that, or if I can get this one rooted, I will use that again. But you can see here, LG backup, there's a backup from the 9th of December, which is yesterday, which is a pretty comprehensive one. I've got a backup from 26th of October and the sites, and you can see they actually saved onto my 64 gig internal SD card. So all I would do now is I would just select the backup that I would want to go back to. So if I click on that one, for example, it loads the backup, and in just a few moments it tells me here are the details. You know, what do you want to actually restore? And there's a lot of things in there, things like settings. You know, I've got my calls, my sounds, my display, my accessibility, you know, things like sounds that I've you know, put into my phone for certain, you know, events, you know, whether it's an email from one particular Gmail account or another. I've got my LG apps that I can also restore, and Quick Remote would be one of the obvious ones that I like to use. Personal data, you've got things like your clock with all its settings and alarms, my quick memos, the tasks, messages, etc. Also, I have my downloaded apps, and as you see, that's the biggest chunk of the backup, and these are all the apps that I've actually downloaded and use. So as you can see here, there's loads and loads. I'll just go through them for the record, even for me, in case I need to see them in the future if I can't remember what I had. There you go. Lots of apps. Some of them are, you know, not that useful, and I should really eliminate some of them, and I will. And so these are the applications that have been downloaded. Just minimize that. Home and lock screens, I could select that as well if I wanted to, but I didn't. Let's go back. I'm not going to do that. If I wanted to do my first backup, I would have to make sure that I have enough space on my internal memory slot or on my SD card, and I would just do backup data, and it loads everything to backup, and then it gives me the options of all the various things that are available to backup. And so this is a useful way of restoring your phone to your previous setup, or perhaps to try something different and then, you know, restore it back to the way it was. It's not the same as restoring an image with you know, with your titanium backup, or using, you know, custom recovery like twerp, etc. But it's good enough. So you can see SD card, I've got that much space on that one there, or I've got the internal storage. Either are fine, but the file is quite large, so I don't want to use like almost 7 gig of the internal storage and leave myself with just 1 point something. So the SD card is the ideal place, and I save 2 backups, and then when I'm happy that I've actually used one of the backups, I tend to delete the previous one. So at the moment, because I haven't restored, I haven't deleted the second one from earlier on in the year. As you can see here, it's the same as before, but this time it's telling me which items will be backed up. So, you know, home and lock screens, I usually turn that off, but it's entirely optional. And you just click on start at the bottom there, down there, and Bob's your uncle. So let's just come out of that. That's it. So I will come into this device at some point, and I will just do a factory data reset, deletes all the data, restores everything to factory default, and then I have a nice clean slate to install everything. Before I go, I just wanted to check what version I'm actually running at the moment. And if I go to software info, I'm on version 6.0. It's a shame that they haven't updated it to a newer one. It's a bigger shame that we haven't got a root solution for this particular device. So if I go into back here, update center, software update, check now. Last time I checked was in September. I know there isn't any. I'll be surprised if there is, but you're using the latest software. Okay, I hope this has helped anyone who's thinking about restoring their device to factory default and then restoring it back again with LG's own program built into the actual device, which is the restore or backup, found in your settings. I'll show you again under backup and reset. Okay, thanks for watching everyone. Until the next one, take care.